Well, good evening, friends and fans of Rock and Roll Love Palace. I know on this channel I mainly do music, but there's going to be a few other things, and not necessarily from a political point of view or a personal point of view or what have you. I'm going to open my favorite drink these days, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. It's very good. But at any rate, uh, see, this is 2022. Yeah. This happened in 2015. And I had made a video about what happened to me uh, sometime back, and I deleted all my videos and restarted my whole channel all over with a few old videos I re-uploaded so far. Um, but this was about what I refer to for myself as a spiritual experience that I had that left a very deep impact upon me and my life, and inside as well as out. I will admit I've been kind of gotten off the path the last few months, letting my thoughts and my temper get in the way of things. But I'm trying to get back to where I was, and that's the truth. I like to consider myself a Buddhist. I don't meditate. I do have problems about whether it's reincarnation or not. I like a lot of what Buddha said about situations, about advice and stuff. But I'll get to that more deeply some other time. Okay, this is what happened. I was involved with this lady named Debbie, and I was involved with her for a total of 7 years. The first 2 years, we were just platonic friends. After a year and a half, 2 years, we ended up getting involved with one another romantically. Well, 5 years down the road, this is in 2015, of January of 2015, she was diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that had metastasized to her brain, and it was a direct cause from smoking cigarettes, which, by the way, it's been 2 years for me since I smoked a cigarette. Her death, because she did die, caused me or inspired me to get away from cigarettes. At that time period in my life, I did love Debbie, and I did very deeply. I loved her and I liked her. We had some good times together. She was fun to be with. Uh, you know, Blessedly, our Creator, who I like to call God, um, seen fit when I asked that I needed someone in my life, and I had them now, which is Brenda, and y'all probably seen a few tunes I've written for her. Brenda's one heck of a wonderful person and one hell of a good woman. Well, anyhow, this is what happened. When Debbie was diagnosed, the doctor had told her that she had at least 6 years. Well, I grew up around the medical profession. I had family members deeply into it, nurses, doctors, etc. And for what I knew about non-small cell lung cancer, particularly stage 4, that's end stage, that you got 6, 7 months on the outside. But I did not say nothing because I was in the room when the doctor told her that. As I look back upon it, he was probably telling her that to encourage her and give her strength, or attempt to move on, to keep going on. Well, it got to the point about the 5th month that they decided to stop doing treatments, because what it was, she had right here in the middle of her chest, where the bronchial tubes branch out into the right and left lung, there was a large tumor that had shrunk, but it was still there. But she had originally 3 tumors, one right here, and that was malignant, and 2 back here in the back near her brainstem, near your automatic functions. Well, they were using gamma knife, if I recall correctly, and that was to shrink and hopefully destroy the tumors. But when cancer, I don't know about all cancers, but I know with non-small cell lung cancer, if it appears in one place and they get rid of it, and it ends up appearing somewhere else, like in the liver, the kidneys, the lymph nodes, and so on and so forth. And, it's, it's. I think once you get diagnosed with that, if I'm not mistaken, it is like a 0.01% chance of survival. There are some people that come back from it. There are, but it's like I said, 0.01%. The last time I checked. At any rate, and I haven't checked in years now, but at anyhow, uh, between the time they stopped doing treatments and before hospice come in, which was just a couple of weeks, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong on that. My memories, this happened 7 years ago. It's not that fresh as it once was. Me and her got to talking about the big question: what happens after you die? I still am of the same mindset of that. I don't care what book, what building, what religion says. Nobody really knows until you get there, until you get to the other side. Then you know what's up. I think it's made very clear, and I'm going to come to get to all that as I go along here. Well, we were talking about what was going to happen afterwards. At that time period in my life, I had no spiritual, religious beliefs at all in any form, fashion, or way. At best, maybe an agnostic, maybe. I really just didn't, when I was a teenager, I used to go to the Assemblies of God Church, Pentecostal. And if you know anything about them, it's kind of on the hardcore side. Well, I got away from that insanity because I look back now and it's just, it's not for me. Yeah, in fact, I won't digress on my views on any religion for that matter, but I just don't think it's man. Religion is man-made, and man is full of mistakes. I know I'm full of shortcomings and a lot of mistakes. I'm not by any means perfect, but at any rate, me and her was talking, and she was telling me she was scared. And of course, like I said, I loved and cared about this woman at the time, and I didn't want her to die. I even went so far, even not really believing in a creator or afterlife or anything. I remember sitting at my computer desk, at my house, because we did not live together. We were just, I lived like a 5-minute walk from her house and vice versa. That I didn't want her to die. I didn't want anybody to die for that matter. It was a horrible. She wasn't so much pain as her physical condition and mental deteriorated, because they had removed the one tumor here, and after they did that, Debbie was Debbie, but she wasn't exactly the same Debbie. She was childlike in a lot of ways. Not always, but in a lot of ways. But at any rate, we were talking, and I told her, I said, I don't think it's anything wrong with making amends with anybody you done wrong, and if you believe in a creator or a God, then I don't think there's anything wrong with becoming a Christian. What you got to lose at this point, And this is what I told her. And I said, if you feel like you needed to become a Christian and repent, by all means do so. Or however you want to put it out there. I think if you go with a sincere belief, particularly more so now than I did then, I probably did say to her, I think if you went to God sincerely, I think He's going to honor it, or at least guide you to that point. Well, now whether she actually become a Christian or not, I know she had some years back, but I don't know at that moment if she did or not. I couldn't say. As I recall of our conversations, she knew how to ride horses and whistle with her 2 fingers, which I cannot do. The deal is, when I do see her again, when my time comes, she's supposed to teach me how to ride a horse and to whistle, because she could whistle, man. I couldn't do it. I never could. Hell, even one of those little plastic ones, I probably have a hard time whistling. But at any rate, it come to pass. on June 15th, uh, 2015. I got to be there. She died at about I think it was about 6:20 in the evening. I remember there was a light rain in that month on that day. Uh, there was no great earthquake. There was no lightning. There was she just simply she. I remember she come to and she was very clear and she wanted her son to have her house. That's a different story. He didn't get it. That's a whole different thing we won't get into here. And uh, and she was very clear and adamant about that. She didn't say nothing to me, but she was talking to her son Josh, and then she sunk back down. Whether a combination of the disease and morphine, I don't know. Probably a combination thereof. And like it was like around 6:15, 6:20 in the evening. She just quit breathing, and that was it. You know, and the color drained out of her face, and she was gone. You know, and of course, obviously, there was no DNR, I do not resuscitate order on her, uh, and that was it. To say I was heartbroken, at first I was in shock, and because I had seen death before, and I'd rather not go into how I'd seen all that, but you know, it's not the people that are dead that bother me. It's the ones walking around that scare the hell out of me. But at any rate, I decided at that time I lived in a different town where she died at, and at home. She got to die at home. Uh, I wanted to get the hell out of there. There was nothing there for me anymore. It was time to go. You know, and in Buddhism, they always say there's a saying: when one door closes, another door opens, and that's predominantly where I'm getting to what happened to me. Well, that same year, I moved in Baytown. Is the name of the town I live in now. Still living here, and uh, my brother and I were renting a house together at that time period, and to save money, and for both of us. Well, this happened. This is the experience. Now, before I go into this, uh, all I can say is that you have to be the judge. I cannot convince you that this is real. I can only share this with you, and you have to make that decision for yourself. But prior to this experience, I wasn't using drugs. I haven't used drugs. Maybe an occasional joint. I will admit to that. In 18 years, but nothing hard, nothing like that, and no hallucinogenics or anything of that caliber. And prior to this happening, and I know I'm the first to say this, that it's crazy, but I could feel her around me, and there were things that was going on that pertained to her son, and I couldn't get a hold of him, and all of a sudden when I felt her there in my bedroom with me, and no, it wasn't like a succubus situation where she's trying to have sex with me, is what I'm trying to say. It wasn't nothing like that. That he would call out of the clear blue, you know, because I was trying to help him get a lawyer to keep her house, and which didn't happen. But at any rate, this was happened in 2015, late October, early November. I'm not sure the exact day. I woke. It was dawn, but the sun hadn't risen yet. It was just the skies were gray, and I know this because my window faced east, and I remember looking toward my window and seeing that the sun had risen, and I was still very depressed and unhappy. And I said, I'm going back to sleep. I don't even want to be awake right now. I'm just because every time I become awake, when I awoke, I would just feel the instant misery and unhappiness upon me from her passing. Well, uh, I closed my eyes. I don't know how long my eyes were closed, but I can't tell you. I don't know. But all of a sudden, I do distinctly remember I heard her voice. She said, "Robert," and I went, "Debbie, is that you?" She said, "Yes, baby, it is. Let me in." Now, I've been all over this old world. I've been around it one time. I've seen all kinds of different places and people, but I ain't never seen a place like this. The There was this golden grass. I'm gonna say it was about ankle high, and I remember looking to my left, and there was these gently rolling hills that went on forever and ever and ever. Is the best way I can describe it. There was light everywhere, and but the light didn't hurt my eyes. I don't remember seeing a sun as we see a sun if we went outside, you know, and I I just it was like the most natural thing in the world. I wasn't scared or freaked out or nothing, but I don't remember walking. But all of a sudden there was this two-story dark brown wood frame house was right in front of me, and I don't remember walking in, but I found myself inside and I'm in the kitchen. And I'm saying it was the kitchen because I distinctly remember seeing kitchen cabinets. I remember seeing a counter. It had like a linoleum counter that was yellow, I think. Uh, and a dark brown tiled floor. But on this counter, there's Debbie sitting there. Debbie had all her hair. Her head wasn't swollen from the gamma knife and the steroids. She was wearing some capris, a peach blouse. I don't remember her shoes. And I think she was wearing her glasses. She may have been. I don't remember. It seems like she was, but I'm not sure. And the first thing I said, "Debbie, what's it like where you're at?" Because, I mean, I want to know. You know, I want to know what's up. I want some answers here. I'm still searching for answers, but I'm trying to jump ahead. At any rate, if you had known Debbie, the way she answered, she went, it's okay. You know, it could have been a dinner with the President of the United States, and she would have been the same blasé type of answer. I mean, I'm just telling you, that's how she was most of the time. Not every time, all the time, but a lot of the times. Well, anyway, I know that there was something else said, because knowing me, I'm asking a million different questions. And no matter how hard I've tried, even though I know there was something else said, it's like it's blanked out. But I know there was something said, but I just don't know what. There ain't no telling what I was asking. I can only imagine. Well, anyway, the last thing she said to me before this particular experience ended, she said, "Robert, you're going to be all right." And I found myself back in my room. And I jump up out of bed, and I'm like, did that just happen? Did some of that acid I did as a teenager, did it end up having a flashback or something? You know? And me, Mr. Logical, or at least I like to think that I am at times, that I was like, I was saying, oh, that's my subconscious mind trying to heal itself. And that's what I literally thought. Well, for some months, I'm going to say at least 6 months, I'm not sure, it was a strange time. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, about 6 months down the road, let's just say 6 months, I get a phone call from my father. My father walked out when I was 7 years old and threw my brother and me to the wind. And this is before he died. He's gone now. But at any rate, he called me up out of the clear blue. Now, I have seen this man, I'm going to say at least 30 times since I was 7. Something like that. And I'm 56 now. So, you know, you take it as what it is. Well, he wanted me to come over to his house. I'm like, why? What is it that you want? You know? And he said, no, don't worry. Just come on over. I want to see you. I said, okay, well, I'll cruise on over there. Because he lived here in Baytown also at that time period. Well, I get over there. And to give you an idea of the structure of the relationship, he had his 4th heart attack. I had no no one had bothered to tell me about it. That's just the way it was, man. There's the way it ought to be, and there's the way it is, and that's the way it is. At any rate, he started telling me, set me down at the table, and was telling me how when he was in ICU, that after his fourth heart attack, he was comatose. But he said he could hear everybody, but he couldn't speak or see anybody. But he said all of a sudden, he was in another place. Now, I had not mentioned my experience to anybody, but he was telling me about this. And he said, I seen your grandma. Grandma had died back in the early 90s. No, back in the 90s sometime. And, to be in all honesty, Grandma in life was a bitch. And she was an unhappy person. And, but he said when he seen her that she was fulfilled. That she was joyful, she was happy and whole. That she was not a miserable old bat. And I forget what my dad said that she said to him, but the last thing she said to him before he come right out of this experience and was fully wide awake and aware in ICU, she said, Bobby, because I'm named after my father, she said, Bobby, you're going to be all right. And when he said that, I realized those were the exact same words that Debbie had said to me. And at that moment, I had more than a moment of clarity. I had a revelation, if you will. I realized that that was not my subconscious trying to heal itself. That there was something bigger at work here. It wasn't that when Debbie passed away that she got all these magical powers. I don't know about that sort of thing. I don't think you really do. But I think it was God. And in my original video, when I originally did this, I stated I didn't see God, Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, or anybody. But in my readings and looking at other people's or listening to other people's videos, particularly the people who've had NDEs, near-death experiences, except the ones that had negative experiences, they all said the same thing, that they seen light, and the light was God. And so I'm going to say, I seen God. Now, it left me with a lot of questions, and I still have a lot of questions. Why me? I'm no one special. I have no great abilities, or am I rich, or am I always a kind person? There's a lot of times in my life I haven't been. I am more so now as I'm older, and a lot of it has to do with that experience. Though there are times my temper gets the best of me. I do not lay my hands on anybody, but I will say something that is untoward, and I probably shouldn't. You know, a lot of times I'll speak before I think. You know, I'm not perfect by any means, but I wanted to share this experience and say, for one, I want to say to God, my Creator, I am sorry that I have not, as of late, been on the path like I should have been, and I apologize for that. And I apologize to other people that I haven't been as kind and compassionate to that I should be. That's my downfall. What can I say? You know, sometimes I'm hard about. You got to be hard about things, but there's a lot of times being hard is not the answer. You know, it's not. I hate to admit that, because there's a part of me, how shall we say, I've been indoctrinated in that everything's hard, and by damn, you need to be hard too. But that's not the truth. That's a lie. That was for something else. That was to survive. I was taught long time ago. But at any rate, that's what happened to me. Let me. It put me on a spiritual path. I knew about Christianity, but I wanted to know more. I said, that can't be it. And I got to realizing, that's when I started realizing that religion was man-made, and man is imperfect. And if man is imperfect, anything man makes is very imperfect. Listen to my guitar playing sometimes. Ugh. But at any rate, uh, I don't think God's too really concerned about someone's religious life, but I do think God's very concerned about someone's spiritual life. And that's something perhaps you should consider, whether you're a Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Catholic, Mormon, whatever. Don't worry about the religious aspect. Worry about that spiritual aspect, because that is what's important to our Creator. And I don't think after this life it ends. I think your spiritual journey and growth continues on. I think there's a distinct high probability of that. But I wanted to remake this video and state, because I did state in that video, I think I done said this, that I didn't see God or anybody, but I did actually see God. And by the way, the person that pointed that out was Brenda. She pointed that out to me. You know, I do believe there's a lot of wisdom in the Bible. And what did Paul write? Wives, obey your husbands, but husbands, listen to your wives. Because wives have a way of looking at things that us men don't look at. As a man, we want to bulldoze right through it, blow it up, destroy it, and rebuild it, or whatever. You know, we're going to plow through this. But you know, a woman's wisdom is sometimes wise to listen to. I ain't gonna say every time. I'm gonna say a good portion of the time, as speaking from as a man. But so consider that, kids. I want to end it here. I'm already gone almost 30 minutes into this. The original video was only 12 minutes, but this is 27 minutes now, and I'm hoping maybe somebody out there will get something out of this, and to be comforted, or whatever, to realize that there is a life after this. I strongly believe that there is. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know what it's all about. I don't know why it was allowed to happen to me. Most of my life, man, as you can probably look at me and tell, I was the rebel soul. You know, I mean, I was. In some ways, I still am. You know, not as I once was. Because for one, I'm older, and this blasted diabetes, that really cut me down several notches. But at any rate, like I said, I hope someone gets something out of this. There's a group I belong to on Facebook. It's Paranormal Ghost and something, and there has been some conversation about this, and I have referred to this experience, and that's why I'm one of the reasons I decided to make the video tonight. And I'm going to post a link, I guess, on my Facebook page, which is Zeb Dawes, but it's D-O-Z-Z, not just one Z like it is here on YouTube. And all I can say is, you can take it for what it's worth. You know, get something out of it. I hope you do, and if not, I'm sorry you didn't. But it's not trying to convert anybody to anything. That's not my goal. My whole goal is hopefully it would help somebody to some degree, and I hope it does. Well, that's really it. Probably, I'm not sure about tonight. Maybe there's going to be another rock and roll video live from Rock and Roll Love Palace. And I'm not sure what I'm going to call that one, but I know the idea I got running around in my head. Anyway, have a good evening, and I hope you have a good day and a blessed day. Bye.